Welcome back. As a part of this lecture, we'll drill down on what are broadcast variables which are there as a part of the distributed variables in low-level APIs of Spark. We already understood broadcast variables let us save a large value on all the worker nodes so that we can reuse them across many Spark actions. One more way of looking at what our broadcast variables are, they are a way where we can share an immutable value efficiently around the cluster without encapsulating a variable in a function enclosure. Okay. What it is, we'll understand. Let us say you have written a function or you have written a Spark code. Spark code may have again some transformations. Let us say T1, T2, T3, and also it may have some functions also, function 1, function 2. Whenever we write a Spark code, the normal way to use a variable in our driver node inside our task is to simply reference that in our function closure. Means you have written a function that you have defined a variable 1, variable 2, something like that. This variable will be used within this function, but this can be inefficient, especially whenever you want to use the large variable such as lookup table or machine learning model within this variable. This is really inefficient. Why do I say that? Let us take an example further. So before we do that, let us understand a couple of things. One is, what is lookup table? Lookup table is very simple. For example, this is a main table. We need to populate the price of these items. We can do that by two things. One, we have a item ID from this, and this table has a common column called product. This has a price. We can populate the main table by using these two lookup tables. This can be considered as one lookup table. Imagine if you have to use this lookup table as a part of the function, passing this to a variable. One more aspect what we need to understand is, we need to understand something called serialization and deserialization. What is it? Serialization and deserialization. Let me take a simple example here. Let us say one person is having a telephone conversation with one more person. Okay. So he says, "How are you?" Do you think all this "how are you" will reach this person just like that? Not really. What exactly happens is, this whole sentence is serialized. How is sent first, then R is sent next, then U is sent next. This is a packet 1, packet 2, packet 3. And then here this guy has to hear whatever he is saying, right? What exactly will happen is, this stream which is serialized will be deserialized, means it is reconstructed by saying, okay, how are you, so that this guy can hear that. In the same way, whenever you are sending a Java program or a Python program or a Spark code over a network from driver to executors, there will be serialization and deserialization. I hope you got it. Having understood what is lookup table, what is serialization and deserialization, let us take one example here. As we know, you would have written a Spark code. Spark code consists of, as we already discussed, transformation 1, transformation 2, transformation 3, and also it has function 1. Function 1 would have a set of code. As a part of this, we would have defined a variable 1, variable 2. So, this code which is there in a driver need to be sent to the executors or the worker nodes. Now, what essentially happens here is you have written a variable as a part of your function enclosure. So, there will be a serialization. This code will be serialized and it will be deserialized in worker nodes or executors. If the variable is small enough, no problem. Everything is fine. If this variable is the big lookup table, then there is a problem because it should be deserialized in the worker nodes many a times. It's like one per task. And one more aspect is, let us say, if you use the same variable for the multiple actions, it need to be resent again. That is a problem. Whenever you have a variable inside the function enclosure, it should be serialized and deserialized multiple times, one per task. And if there are many actions which are using the same variable, it should be resent again and again. Imagine, we are not talking about a variable of only some KBs here. We are talking about a variable of GBs, like a lookup table. Then it is inefficient. What is the best way to resolve this? That is where broadcast variables come into picture. What we can do is, as a part of the broadcast variable, instead of sending that variable which has a lookup table again and again, broadcast it to all the executors. That way, broadcast variables will be shared across all the executors and they're immutable as well, and they'll be cached on every machine in a cluster. When I say cached, they'll be stored in a temporary memory. So you need not send them again and again. That is not necessary. And even there is no requirement of a serialization and deserialization. Isn't it wonderful? That is why whenever you have a variable within the function enclosure which is big enough like a lookup table or any machine learning model, it is better to use the broadcast variables. It saves a lot of time. It will be most efficient way of sending a variable into the different worker nodes in a cluster. Awesome. Having understood the concept, let us take an example and understand this in a bit more detail. Let us say you have a RDD with lot of words. Let us say some 10,000 plus words. In that case, what you want to do is you want to supplement a data for your list of words. This information is potentially more than a GB. It's kind of a lookup table. You can see that. You can say Spark is kind of given a number as 1000, definitive as 200, so on and so forth. If this information what you want to supplement to this RDD is more than 1 GB, that is when we can use the broadcast variable. What we can do is we can go ahead and create a broadcast variable with that supplemental data. So in the previous section, we created a variable with this information, kind of a lookup table. And what we are doing here is we are broadcasting that by using a broadcast function. So we are broadcasting this lookup table or information by using a broadcast. Obviously, whenever we are going for a low level APIs, we have to go through a Spark context. This value is immutable. Whatever this value is immutable, and it can be easily replicated across all the nodes in a cluster, as I explained in earlier example. And also one more thing is we can refer this broadcast variable by using a value method. When you refer this broadcast variable value method, it returns the exact value of the variable or lookup table whatever you have supplied earlier. Now that we created a broadcast variable and we know how do we refer that, what we can do is we can use this broadcast variable as a part of our RDD transformation. Like what we are doing here is we are taking a words RDD and we have again created a lambda function. This function will go through word by word. Wherever we have a word matching the value from the broadcast value, that will be paired together. For example, words as a spark, that spark will be given a number of 1000. Some definitive will be given a number of some 200. Some big will be given a number of 300. This is coming from the broadcast variable. Isn't it awesome? Instead of supplying the variable within the function enclosure, we can create a broadcast variable and send it to all the nodes in a cluster. Broadcast variable will be cached in the nodes and it will be used. So there is no requirement for a deserialization again and again, and also no requirement to send the variable again and again as a part of the different Spark action. Awesome. We'll see this in action in our upcoming video. Thank you. You have a wonderful time.